Welcome everybody, welcome back to the SMAC Talk podcast. I know you thought I was going to let you down, wasn't going to upload this week, but you're wrong. Here I am. I've decided no matter what happens, any circumstances, we will get an episode of the podcast out. I'll be rolling every single week. Guest, no guest, whatever. If I'm lying in a hospital bed, there will be an episode of this going out. I'm trying my best, and over Christmas time, I'm going to try to pump out some more stuff. But yeah, welcome back. The number one rated podcast according to Anthony Crilly on Spotify's review. So again, these are in safe plans and very highly rated podcast here. If you have been enjoying the podcast and you are a fan or you do enjoy, leave a like, let your friends know, tell somebody, let them know. Sean McAleavey doing bits for the podcast. Again, if you want to come on, give me a shout. There's no issues there either. Without any further ado, we'll get into it. We'll just get a quick word from our sponsor. Our sponsor this week, we don't have a sponsor, as everyone knows, but our sponsor this week that we'd love to partner up with is The Cure. Now, The Cure is something that is needed for whenever we're drinking. Next day you wake over, you feel very groggy, and you have no idea where you are. Your head's pumping, your stomach's sick, and The Cure gets you out of that feeling like this. I don't know what's in The Cure. I don't know what The Cure exactly is, but if you do know or you have an idea of what The Cure is, let me know, because it's meant to be sponsoring the podcast. And yeah, check out The Cure and let me know what you find next week, because that's where we're starting this one this week, ladies and gents. Heavy weekend of drinking for myself. The pubs did reopen. Well, wet pubs, which still gives me the heebie-jeebies to say. Wet pubs, like who thought of that? Has that always been a thing? I don't really know, but yeah. The wet pubs were closed. I'm going to have to stop calling that just pubs. Pubs are pubs. But the bar/restaurants were still open. So I'd actually been out with my family. I ended up getting a free room in a Premier Inn on the Friday night in Belfast. And we went for food and drinks. And we had a carriage afterwards. And that was a tough one. Belfast was very, very strangely quiet. Like, obviously it was the first day back. But we were in sort of a main area in Belfast. And there didn't seem to be too much, hype or buzz or too many things, but packed out. We didn't even try to get into anywhere else after our food and drink, because we're just like, you know what, like, I was out with my parents basically, and you don't want to start running around places because they'll just start complaining and giving off. They like an easy life. So yeah, for some reason as well in the Premier Inn, we ended up getting a free one because someone cancelled, but you couldn't cancel the room, so we just went on their behalf. And it was so funny, like we went and me and my brother went and we got the best room. The exact same price as all the other rooms, but I got like a big corner room with like 4 big massive windows and like big huge room. And for some reason I am just the jammiest person when it comes to hotels. My top tip normally is, because whenever me and Austin normally go away, we book quite early our accommodation. We don't leave it to like a week before. I know some people do that, but we book quite early. And what happens is with hotels is you book early, and on the day you arrive or whatever, if they haven't sold their best rooms, they'll bump whoever's already paid for a room up, so then their cheaper rooms come available on like a last minute deal site to book it for that night or like a night or two away. So definitely top tip is to book early, because if you book early there's a higher chance you get upgraded. Me and Austin got upgraded to like the penthouse suite in our Amsterdam hotel. We were like, I don't know, we always book the basic room you can get, but then we put in, when we got there, like, oh, I'm really sorry, we're going to have to upgrade you, change your room, it's going to be top floor, full window, like the length of like the room overlooking Amsterdam on the top floor. And she's like, you know what, this'll do. This'll do. I'm not angry with that. And then the Saturday night I was out drinking again. Shout out to the local complex in Newry that wouldn't let us in. Sound as pound. We had a seat waiting for us upstairs and they wouldn't let us in. So, that was great, but we ended up getting sorted. We got in somewhere and we had food and drinks. So, I mean, for some reason, this time last year, I think it was, I went to the Guinness factory, and I'd never drank Guinness before this, but since going to like the source, the hub, the spring, the nectar of where it comes from, honestly, you can't look back. All I've been drinking is Guinness. And it's definitely the reason I put on weight over lockdown, because it's so just creamy and delicious. I don't know, I find it hard to go back to beer once you start drinking one and go back. But yeah, Guinness has been the shout, and I've been loving it the past few days. But yeah, so basically Sunday was a Dan day, complete write off. Not made any better by the fact I support Arsenal, but we're going to leave that there. I don't think I can waste the energy on that. Maybe later we'll get into that. I'm not too sure. But yeah, so Day to Death is Sunday, and that's why I'm doing the episode. This is Monday. I'm going to try have this out on the Monday night, best I can. We'll see how it goes, and we'll try fire it up. But yeah, apart from that, glad things are reopening again. Heading back to the gym tonight, so glad they're open again. And I mean, that 2 weeks, I don't think it was that dramatic. It was that tough. 2-week lockdown was sort of alright in my opinion. I think we know what I think. I talked about last week about the gyms and stuff like that. I mean, 2 weeks, we move. You know, we get through it. Wasn't the biggest problem in the world, but yeah. So this week, what did I want to talk about? Really, I don't know. I've sort of just had a couple of things in mind. So first thing we'll probably get into, apart from what I be doing with my life, is Floyd Mayweather versus Logan Paul. Out of nowhere. We all seen the Jake Paul fight with, who was it, the basketball dude? I can't remember his name, but Jake Paul knocked him out. And then within a week, we see Floyd Mayweather and Logan Paul are going to fight. What has the world come to? Floyd Mayweather just has the license to just fight anybody now. It's like, oh, you think, you know, anyone that's famous enough, he'll just go, yeah, fight you. Like, he fought that, was it the kickboxer in Japan, KO'd him in the first round, or they had to throw the towel in the first round. Obviously, he fought Conor McGregor. I don't think Conor was ever going to beat him in that fight once you really look back at it. And now he's just going to fight Logan Paul. Like, this is arguably the greatest boxer of all time. I'm not talking about Logan Paul. Of all time, going up against YouTuber Logan Paul, who couldn't even beat KSI in a boxing match. Or even if he did, even if you do think that he beat him, but it's just the points that screwed him. You imagine replacing KSI with Floyd Mayweather and what he could actually do to him. It is insanity. It is beyond me. I understand it from the point of view of Floyd Mayweather. It makes so much sense. Like, you just license to print your money. If you're that good at something and you're just going to do it in front of a big crowd to get paid, it makes sense. But Logan Paul is going to get obliterated, and it's not even close. I watched Shab had him on Food Truck Diaries, and Logan Paul saying, like, what if I knock him out? And it would be hilarious. Imagine Floyd Mayweather getting knocked out by Logan Paul. Like, I can't believe I said the words. It's just that unbelievable. And I'm sure, I don't know, maybe there's one or two people that think, you know what, he has a chance, but I am not one of them people. I think this is insanity. I think Floyd has just decided, you know what, why fight anyone that's going to put me in danger anymore? Like, he's not going to take on dangerous fights. Just put away these guys that think they can, you know, get in there and land a wild right hand or like a big uppercut or something. I don't know. It's absolute. I honestly, I still don't believe that's going to happen. That Floyd Mayweather and Logan Paul are going to fight. I mean, fair play to Logan Paul's management, must be exceptional to land that fight. Oh my, like, what people don't understand about this is like, Floyd Mayweather is probably the best boxer, and my fighting knowledge is very limited, but Floyd Mayweather is the best fighter probably that graced the earth in the last 50 years, since he's been alive. I don't know about before that, but I know. Pound for pound, probably the best fighter, at least defensive fighters, ever. Did he take a couple of, like, the Manny Pacquiao thing I remember watching at the time? Was it too late? Was it a bit, ugh? Yeah, but everything else, like, he hasn't been fighting bums all these years. Like, he's been exceptional. And Logan Paul has now been summoned up to fight him. I think it's insanity. I think it's absolute insanity. If I was going in there, I would just go in and just kick him in the head. I would just run in there and just take out a baseball bat and batter him. I probably still wouldn't win. Take out a crowbar. It'd be like WWE, like pull out like a steel chair from under the under the ring, just clank him whenever they're doing the thing. Just be like, yeah, knocked him out. It's probably your only option, but yeah, absolute insanity. I think it's in February that fight's going to be. Will I watch it? Yes. Will I pay for it? That is to be seen. Yeah, yes, I will. Yes, I will. Of course, I will have to pay for it. What other way would I really get it? Yeah, Logan Paul, Floyd Mayweather. I'm going to stop rambling on a bit because it's mind-boggling to me. Mind-boggling. What else has been going on for me this week? So I've decided this year, and we're going to see how this one's going. I'm going to just sort of keep this at an arm's length. This one, I am making my return to Gaelic football this year. I've decided, you know what? There isn't anything else to do. I really miss I genuinely miss the competitive edge of sports and winning and something. I haven't had that, like, I thought stand-up would have been that, like, you know, like, not winning, but, like, you got, like, competitive sort of, like, do well, perform sort of, like, aspect. Like, you're not competing against other comics as such, but you know, that performance, gratitude, like, well done, you did this sort of thing. Because, to be honest, I don't get it from uni. I don't get it from a lot of things. I felt like that would have been what I needed, but obviously, is comedy ever going to come back? Who knows? It could literally be over forever. I mean, are people ever going to sit close to each other again? I don't know. It's all to be seen. But yeah, I'm making a return to football. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how much, you know, I get into it when I go back. I've had some brutal experiences through football. I've never talked about it before. I'd love to have someone on here that plays football and get, you know, their gist on it and what they think. But I'm going to make a return back. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully, I don't get lost in the woods when we're doing our runs again, training and stuff like that. Like, because God only knows how that's gonna go. I can't remember the last time I went on a big group run. Like, you do your own runs, but, like, you know, you go at your own pace and stuff like that. I'll probably be thrown up everywhere. Oh, I don't know. The thought of it's put me off. So yeah, get me off that. Return to football's come back. I'll update you on how that goes, because it might be a complete and utter mess. Let's see. But yeah, as I was just saying there, like will comedy, will stand up ever come back? I'm not sure. One thing I do know is that there's very, very, very exceptional stand-up comedian releasing a show on Netflix or on Netflix, and that is Andrew Schulz. And if you aren't aware, get aware, because he is probably the king of content when it comes to stand-ups and comedians. The stuff he pumps out, stuff he does between podcasts and videos and shows, second to none. Honestly, phenomenal. And he's released his show comes out on the 17th of December, so that's, I think it's this weekend or Friday or Saturday. So I'm really, really looking forward to see what he does with that, and I'm 100%. If I don't like it, I'll let you know next week, but I can't see me not loving it because he is hilarious. I think he's New York born, and he's basically talking about saving America, I think the name of the Netflix special is. So yeah, check it out. Check out the trailer for it, and make sure you don't miss it, because it will be, I'm really hoping he doesn't let me down here, but it should be phenomenal. I wonder how he'll work the crowd, because I seen the Kevin Hart one was a bit strange, the sofas and stuff like that, but still, it's Kevin Hart, so you can do whatever the hell you want. And on them not come back, if shows do come back, it all is going to rely on the vaccine. Now, I got a question this week being like, Sean, would you take the vaccine? And you know what? The simple answer is yes, I would take the vaccine. I'm not going to be able to take the vaccine, like, because they're never going to give it to me. But I actually think they're making the point being like, this is a Pfizer or whatever it's called vaccine is so cheap that, like, the NHS can afford it. But in my head, I'm like, is there not, like, a medium one? Like, there's probably, like, a cheap one, like a £3. I think this one was £3, a £5, and like a £10 one, or a £3.7 and £10 one, or something like that. Do we not have, like, a medium one? £3 to me for the vaccine to the global pandemic seems way too cheap. Way too cheap. There's no way. I've told them the podcast about the cure for a hangover. The cure for a global pandemic is going to cost £3. To me, that can't make any sense. I don't know if I'm being stupid here or something, but the cure to the global pandemic that has shut the entire world down is going to cost you £3. It's going to cost the government or your hospital or whatever is £3. Something to me doesn't add up there. Like, surely it has to be better than that. And I know there's people out there who be like, I'm not taking it because side effects and I've rushed it. The amount of stuff you put in your body that you have no idea what it's going to do to you is hilarious. Like, there's people sitting there like, I'm not taking that, and they drink like 10 tins of Red Bull every day. Have you seen what's in Red Bull and what that can do to you? Loopers shit. Literally, people are insane. This year has just sent people nuts. And I was actually thinking earlier, what has this year been like in review? If you were to take this year and sort of like run it all back in review, January, fine. February, probably fine. March, start to get a bit worried. Like, February, you start to hear things. That's what it was, because I think, is it March St. Patrick's Day? It was St. Patrick's Day when things first sort of shut down here. And February was sort of like, oh, here, China's fucked it. Idiots. State of them. Rotten mingers, whatever. And then March came, we're like, oh, gee, what? It's here, right? Okay, still not too sure. It's here, right? Okay, it's in Europe, right? Right, we'll say, sure, like, look at Italy, like, we'll never be as bad as Italy. Italy have completely fucked it. Like they're all dirty Italians, like, wrecked it, state of them. And then March, April, or maybe it was April, we were like, right, okay, we're not as good as we think, but at least we're not as bad as Italy. We're still not as bad as Italy, them dirty Italians. We're okay. There's only a few people have it. It's fine. May, I think, was when all hell broke loose and we probably went into lockdown 1.0, but at least we were like, here isn't this class? Like, we're all at home, the weather's class, and we're getting paid for it. Lethal. June, July, starting to be like, here, look, still locked down here. It's actually going alright. Like, it could be worse, but at least we're still not as bad as Italy. And then after that, started being like, right, we're way worse than Italy now. We're disgusting. We're mingers. Our government's useless. And then when was the next rise? We started getting, still coming out of it again, being like, look, the numbers are going down. We're doing well. Thank God. And then it was like, oh, this is going so well that the government decided that it was September, maybe. It was like, this is going so well that the government are just going to give us basically free food, 50% off everywhere. This is unbelievable. Like, absolutely class. We're out of this now. We're getting 50% off meals. And then the next month, back into crap. Back into lockdown. We're screwed. Our country's dirt. I bet you the Italians are sitting there looking at us being like, I don't know what to do in an Italian accent, but they're like looking at us being like, dirty bastards. Look at them. They're laughing at us. They're like, oh, they've wrecked it. Italy. Oh, here, sure. Isn't Italy the worst in the world? Italy have made a mess of this. And then it's like, we overtook them. We're like, oh, dear Lord. That's the only thing about being from Northern Ireland. Northern Ireland's such a small place that we've actually been, I say this very, very gingerly, sort of all right, as in we don't have highly dense areas. Our numbers don't go into like the thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands like what happened in London and all them places. But yeah, excuse me, I'm near sure I'm still like dying from the weekend. But yeah, so it's just been interesting to like look back at it and how like at one stage we were like laughing at Italy, being like, look how crap they are. They have reacted. Dirty Italians, government's rubbish. They've had to go into full lockdown, and then slowly but surely we've stopped talking about Italy and going, here, we fucked this actually. We're upside down as well. Ah, God. There's actually, it's mad to think this year that there was a stage where people were going holidays. People went to Spain, Greece, Portugal. I mean, I didn't go on any holidays personally, but it's mad we've been going through this, and some point during this year, some people have been getting a tan in Mallorca. I don't know. Roll on 2021, see what happens. God only knows. I really, 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 really hope people start taking this vaccine and getting through. I mean, if you're old, realistically, like there is a good chance. Surely you're going to take it. I can't speak for myself because they're not going to give it to me. But surely, if you're old, you just want your freedom back and be able to go do things. And if the only way is to take this random vaccine, well, if you think it's a random vaccine, that is, I don't know. I'm not a health person. But yeah, I've somehow managed to ramble on here for 20 minutes this week. I think I'm going to wrap it up there. I'll keep this one fairly short because I don't know, I'm feeling tired today. I'm feeling slightly lazy today. But yeah, let me know, guys. Let me know more stuff you want to see. Get questions sent in for the podcast coming this week. Get back to some sort of normality. It is my birthday week, but no excuses. I'm 23. There's no reason to have a birthday anymore. Like, it's time to grow up. You can't demand a birthday every single year. 23 is not an important number. And yeah, if you have enjoyed, leave a like, tell your friend. SMAC Talk, go check it out. Not a bad lad. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you all again in the next one very, very soon. Send in your information. Not your information, what? Data protection. Send in your comments. Send in anything you want me to react to, and we'll get it on the show. Let me know who you want on, and I'll get back to you in the next one. Good luck.